Welcome. Woohoo! I think this is a really good, smooth transition, except I'm a little blurry over here. Can you see me? All right, perfect. Oh my God, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we did it, and we are live. So happy that we have had a smooth transition. Oh my God, look at you, lovely ladies coming in. I see Tranisha, I saw Elizabeth just a moment ago. Thank y'all so much for coming in. Look, time is valuable on this show, so I don't want to miss much, and I want to get right into it. As you guys who may have joined us about 2 3 weeks ago, we had Suzanne Johnson. I told you guys I think of her as Suzanne Sugarbaker from Designing Women. If you're that old, you might know what I'm talking about. But I'm so happy to have her here with us again for part two. We are talking about sis, get your coins, boo. Make sure that you have financial peace. And we're talking about want versus need. But before we get to that, of course, who is Suzanne Johnson? For some of you who are like, I've never met her, I don't know her. So let me tell you about Suzanne. Well, she owns Grace Financial Coaching and has been guiding clients in the financial methods of Dave Ramsey. You should know who that is, for about 5 years now. Suzanne's mission is to guide, equip, and encourage you to make the best financial decisions. She's actually helping me. She's doing a phenomenal job. So make sure to look her up, Grace Financial Coaching. The sessions are effective and affordable, and you only pay for the time you need. And the reason why I had her come back, because at the end of the show, when you were here, we did rapid fire questions. Everyone loves rapid fire. I am definitely a fan of rapid fire because, well, we learn so much about the speaker outside of your work. And I asked you the question, what was the best advice you received from one of the strongest people in your life? And it came from your grandmother. No disrespect to Dave Ramsey, but you said your grandmother told you to, want versus need. And that was pretty powerful because want versus need is really important for someone like myself who is a big thrifter, and today being National Thrift Shop Day. So we're going to talk about that. And well, first, just happy National Thrift Shop Day, because I have to observe this day. I mean, come on, it's a national holiday.
Exactly. Yeah. So behind the scenes, Danique and I were chatting, and then all of a sudden I just cut her off and I said, "Girl, it's Thrift Shop Day. It is National Thrift Shop Day. It is so appropriate that you and me are talking today because that's what we were bonding over when we first sat down to talk about
Yes.
our love for thrift shopping. And Danica's been telling me that she's been getting better. She's been cutting down on her trips.
Yes, I have. I have definitely enrolled in Thrift Shop Anonymous, so I don't go very often. However, today will be probably my first day back in a couple of weeks, which is a big achievement for me. And that takes us to really our topic. How do we know what is a want and what is a need?
Right. And it doesn't matter if you're shopping at Dillard's or the local thrift store, right? We got to figure out if we actually need what we are out there to purchase. So we spoke very briefly last time about the four walls of our budget, which is food, shelter, transportation, and utilities. The fifth wall would be clothing, and that would only be if you were in a situation where you started a new job, you needed replacement sneakers. So it would be like the super basic stuff for clothing. But everything else, food, shelter, transportation, and utilities. And once you kind of put that in your budget, I mean, that's really the stuff that we think of as like the bare necessities, right? But that's
Right.
really what we need to live. You probably have everything else. You
Yeah.
have your smartphone, most likely. You know, maybe you break your charger and you need a new charger. But outside of that stuff, that's pretty much it. So we really have to go through and define the need versus want, because we're not going to the mall or Dillard's or now shopping online for the basics. We're shopping to shop. It's retail therapy, or we just want to go out there and see what's on sale, or we got an email. I just got 3 emails from New York and Company. I'm like, uh-oh, the devil is in my email box right now because
You tell him the devil is a liar.
exactly. I'm like, I do not need this right now, Satan. Delete, delete, delete.
Oh,
So
yes.
we are going to play a little game with Danica and see how good she is at defining a need versus a want. And some of these things you have to think a little closely about. It's not going to be an automatic black and white answer. It could be a little bit gray. So, Danica, are you ready?
Well, I do want everyone else to participate. So we're going to do this together. Okay, folks, we're doing this together. So I need you guys to put your comments. We're doing this game show. So you're going to set this up. I mean, if we're going to do a show, you got to set this up.
I should have brought game show music or something, right? So what I'm going to do is give you an item, and you guys are going to tell us or give Danica a hint if it is a need or a want, or could it be a mix of both? So there are going to be 3 options.
Okay.
All right. It looks like everyone's ready. I see Sharon is ready.
Yes. Need, want, or a mixture.
Yes. So our first thing is going to be, do you need super fast internet or do you just want super fast internet?
Okay. We're in 2020. We've got COVID going on. I'll be damned, carpool conversations. I definitely say it is a mixture. I don't need it to survive, but I need it for my business. Can I explain a little bit? Because for me, I've been wanting, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm looking at Elizabeth, who said that her daughter is trying to decrease her carbon imprint. So I could have had, internet at my home. I could have it in my car. I could have it, just about everywhere. But I said, okay, what do I need most? I have it at my job. I live in a small town, so I can go home. I can go to my job and use it, but I have it in my car for carpool conversation. So for me, I think it's a mixture.
I think you are right. So probably prior to coronavirus, though, we might have said that was a want. But now in this post-pandemic world where we've had economic shutdowns and people can't go to their local libraries or places like that where they had access previously, this could very well be a need. And one of the things I want to encourage you guys to do is, if you've been working from home and you have increased your internet usage and you're paying overage, or you are paying for a higher speed plan, go back to your employer, because a lot of that stuff is getting written off by the employer kind of as a necessity of doing business. So you may be eligible to receive some of that money back from your employer if you've had to upgrade since the beginning of the shutdown.
Okay. Look, and just so I know for myself, I can burn off of McDonald's. Girl, you're
That's
right.
Hilarious.
Oh my God. So I may have to call OnStar and cancel my subscription. Thanks, Elizabeth. All right, what's next?
The next one is replacement sneakers.
Oh no, that's a want.
So that could actually be a mixture of both, because if it's the only pair of sneakers you have, then we would put that in our 4 walls plus clothing. However, if you're just out there buying the latest Air Jordans, then no, that is obviously a want.
Right. Okay, I got you. Because look, baby, if I need where I'm going, to the thrift store, clean them up, and they're going to be just like new. Okay?
Exactly. All right. The next one is running water.
Oh, baby, that is a need. I need running water. Because this body got to be clean. I got to do all kinds of stuff with that water, boo. Okay.
That was pretty easy, right?
Yes. Okay. If you were going to say that was a want, I'm like, yeah, but it's necessary.
No, that is a necessity. In 2020 in America, that is a necessity. The newest iPhone, is that a need or a want?
I am an Android baby, okay? And I know I'm going to have some iPhone people hating on me right now, but that's a want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is absolutely a want. I upgraded my phone about a year or 2 ago, and I went back a model because the phone that I had, I don't know, it just was like a lemon kind of thing. And so when I upgraded my plan, when I signed on for my plan again, I was like, just give me like the 8. I'm like, this last one was like, I don't know, it just didn't work right. And so I actually have downgraded to a brand new 8, but they gave it to me for free because it was an older model.
Okay. Oh, and look, I got some people on my side. Come through, Tanisha. Yes, Android for the win. Boom. Okay.
I'm gonna have to put smartphone on there so I don't offend anybody next time.
That's cool.
All right. How about designer jeans?
That's a want. Well, you know me. I got this.
How about essential groceries?
Oh, that's a need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
A 2020 model car.
Baby, this 2017 getting me good mileage. Okay, so that is a want.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Electricity.
that's a need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a
That's part of
need.
our youth. That's part of the utilities of our budget for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. A new sweatshirt or a new hoodie when it gets cold outside in the fall.
Okay, so I know I think it's gonna you're gonna say this is a want, but I get cold, so that's a need for me. I mean, unless I can walk around with blankets, but I need a good sweater. Is that
Mm-hmm.
part of the? You need that, right?
So that would be a mixture. That would fall under our clothing if it was something we were replacing or something that we really did need in our clothing, in our closet for sure.
Okay, okay. I think I
Mm-hmm.
got that right. Okay,
Awesome. Nice job. Basic car insurance.
okay. Living in Louisiana, you need that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
car
Yeah, so there's
insurance.
definitely different levels within each state. There's going to be different states that are going to require different levels of insurance. But transportation, that's pretty much the thing that gets a lot of people to and from work. Even if some of us are working from home now. But when you drive your car to the grocery store and the idiot behind you hits your bumper,
Yeah,
and he's not insured, you need a basic level of car insurance just to cover that so that you don't end up paying for the front of his car for some stupid reason. So
right.
definitely make sure you're carrying the basic car insurance for your state. And if you have a trusted insurance broker, have them go out and price out different plans for you to
Mhm.
see if you can get increased coverage if you need it, depending on where you live and what you do.
Okay, great. Yeah, and
Yep.
speaking of which, I am actually going to be in the market of trying to shop around a little bit more, but I'm so afraid of what insurance companies to go with because some people are a little shady. You don't know who's reputable and who's not, but definitely when it comes to budgeting, I got to make sure that I'm paying for me the minimum, but I get the most coverage, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And that's just really looking for value, right? That's what we do when we go through a shopping. We're looking for a designer pair of jeans at a $3 price. So we're looking for the best value. So
That's
this is
right.
why we always recommend to use insurance brokers. Don't go to Allstate, don't go to State Farm, and don't go to Geico individually. Go to a broker, tell them what you want. By the way, that service is free for you because the person who pays for the broker service is the company that you eventually sign up with. So go in there, tell them what you want, what kind of coverage. If you have had a fender bender in the last year, tell them that. Tell them you've got a parking ticket or a moving violation or something, and they will go out and they will shop what you want around to the different companies, so you don't have to worry about somebody being all shady on you.
Okay, now see, I never knew that. And look, I want
Mm-hmm.
to pause for the cause. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's come in. I see Sharon B is with us. What's up? We even have one of our mayors in our parish. You have counties. He's in here. What's up, Mr. Eugene? He's in here watching. So, baby, you got to get your. And look, I think he's a CPA. He's an accountant. So I know he's listening. Like, let me see what she's talking about. I have a really good financial consultant and coach that's here. This is Suzanne Johnson. Do me a favor, folks, if you're watching, this is your first time, or if you come here often, please do me a favor and share this feed to your Facebook, any type of social media, because we're also live on YouTube. All right, what else you got for me?
Well, our last question, and I think I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this, but is this a need or a want, Anika? Multiple streaming services.
Yeah, you just ruffled my feather. It's definitely a want. I mean, it's not a necessity, definitely. But if I want to make some money, I need multiple streams of income. I can tell you that much. But no, multiple streams, no, it is definitely a want.
Right, exactly. I usually tell people if they're really taking a hard look at their budget to say, all right, let's have an honest conversation. We all don't need to be watching more TV. We probably need to be consuming less TV. So
Mhm.
pick your favorite, stick with that one, and then get rid of the rest of them.
That's right. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. So, do I pass or do I fail?
I think you got like a 95, girl. I think you're Good to
All
go.
right. I want some extra credit because I wasn't necessarily an overachiever, but I always wanted that 100. Okay, let's go on. What else we got? So we're still talking about want versus need. And of course, anybody who's in the comment section, we want not just your comments, but if you have questions for her. This is actually part two of a three-part series that we have going on. And I'm excited. So I want to ask you now with this, with budgeting, because I have had to take a hard look at my budget and I have had to cut out things. There's a lot of things that you mentioned. I had to cut it out because it was just eating into my money. And I was like, well, we're in this COVID situation. Do I really need this? Do I really need to go to the thrift store? Do I need to go to Dillard's? And where am I going? I'm saying I'm buying these clothes. Where am I going? That's another thing that helps when it comes to budgeting. But let me tell you something. I need support. I need to know, because sometimes you need somebody to say, hey, do you need this? Do you why are you going? So do you suggest a support system?
Yes, absolutely. So it's one thing to have the knowledge piece, right? We just did our little want versus need game. So now we have the knowledge of what's a want and what's a need. But most people don't apply this for two reasons. One, a lack of discipline, but two, something that can help us with that lack of discipline is support. And if we're lacking that support, then we're never probably not going to find that discipline on our own. So we need to go out and we need to look for that support, whether you're married or single. A lot of times people think that just because they're married or their friends are married, they don't need the same kind of support that a single gal or a single guy might need. So we've got to ask ourselves some questions when we look for our support system. We want to ask ourselves, who's on our side? Who can we trust? And who loves you enough to say, Danica, get out of the thrift store?
Suzanne, you love me enough, don't you?
I do. I do love you enough.
Okay, so now go back to that married and single situation. We've had this conversation on here, and I'm like, I feel like, I can't. You can't have if you're married, you can't have no single friends. That's how I feel. What you think?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's different. It's different, right? I mean, these people fall in different categories.
Right, exactly. So we're not necessarily going out there and looking for a married woman to seek a single male's advice on becoming her accountability partner. That might not be appropriate, right? But once we ask ourselves these questions, we want to identify these people who are safe and healthy options in our lives within probably our current circle of family and friends. I know you and I have spoken about church before. Church is a great place to find these people. If you already belong to a small group or something to that effect, ask someone in that small group that you trust to see if they will help you kind of narrow down your circle of trust, your circle of support when it comes to
Like
your financial issues.
like the person here said,
Yeah,
stop spending $6,000 at the Dollar Tree. That's true. Sorry, go on.
that is awesome. That is hilarious. So we want to identify these people within, again, our existing circle, family, church friends, trusted people. We want to look first for the person who is the encourager slash motivator. Think of a cheerleader when you think of the person who is the encourager motivator. They're the person saying, Danica, I love what you're doing. I love that you're cutting back in your budget on stuff that you don't need, and you're really focusing on want versus need. And I am here to cheer you on, and I am going to encourage you in this journey. The second person is going to be that comforter slash supporter. Think a little bit more of like a mom type figure, or maternal type figure, or maybe an older sister. And they're going to say, Danica, you went out and you spent $500 on thrift shop day. But it's going to be okay. Don't worry, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. You're going to recover from this. I'm here to support you. Now, that third person is going to be that accountability partner. That's going to be the person that says, Sharon, stop spending $50 every time you go to CVS. That person is going to say, it's time to stop what you're doing. You've got to reevaluate what's going on. You told me, Danica, that you wanted to make this change in your life, and what you're doing isn't helping you make that change. And I am your friend, and I love you, and I'm going to be here to say, stop doing that because it's not getting you to your goal. So if you are a married couple, like you said, it might not be appropriate for one of the spouses to go out and seek these people. It would be more appropriate for the couple to go out and possibly seek maybe an older couple within their church or friends that they know that are doing financially better than them, and ask them how they did it and what habits they created in order to get them to a healthier place and have more accountability within their marriage.
Awesome. And I just want to, and I appreciate even the gentlemen who are starting to show up and talk. We have Gregory. He says, you know, he's horrible with spending. He says, I work hard. I deserve this. I mean, I've said that myself, definitely. I think many of us have probably said that we need an opportunity to say, hey, I work hard. Let me go out and I work hard. I want to play hard. What do you say about that?
Absolutely. And I'm going to borrow a line from Dave Ramsey so that it doesn't sound mean coming from me. But what Dave would say to you would say, Gregory, call the wambulance. I don't want to hear about how you deserve A, B, C, X, Y, Z unless you are out of debt. You have 3 to 6 months in savings. You are investing 15% into your retirement, and you are saving for any existing kids or future kids' college fund, and you're paying down your mortgage early. So outside of that, he's going to say, I don't really care if you want that 55-inch TV in time for the Super Bowl.
Right. Girl, that is awesome. That's awesome. Like information, because I'm gonna tell you, I think about that too. Because I at one time I didn't even have a TV. Like my TV broke. I was like, oh, I got to get a TV. My mom and my sister came to visit. And I said, hey, look, I'm letting you know I ain't got no TV. And they're like, how you don't have a TV? I'm like, I don't have one because I rarely turn it on. So they bought me a TV. I was like, well, hey, if you bought me one, it's fine, but I'm not turning one on. And and I'm gonna tell you, always about entertaining. We buy things for other people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now I want to ask you, here's a question from Scala, $6,000 at the Dollar Tree. He says, I think our biggest expense is eating out. And that's true. How do you balance that when both of you are always on the go?
Absolutely. One of the biggest challenges prior to coronavirus and COVID was everyone eating out. And honestly, it didn't go away during coronavirus. What ended up happening was people said, okay, I can't go to a restaurant, but I'm going to support my local restaurant and I'm going to order in, right? Which is a very nice thing to do. But at the same time, we need to protect ourselves before we go out, and we need to protect our own households before we go out and we protect anybody else's household. So one of the things I really recommend is, if you said we, Scala, so I'm guessing you're married or living with someone, sit down and do a meal plan. It is going to take time, but it's going to be diligence over time, and it's going to equal prosperity. That's basically what we always say. Diligence over time equals prosperity. So we've got to sit down, we've got to do that meal plan. We've got to say, okay, this week we're not eating out. And we've got to take, I know you're always on the go, but there's got to be a couple hours where maybe we're watching one of those streaming services that we could be sitting at our kitchen table instead, looking through our recipe book or Googling recipes online and saying, there's got to be a better way. One of the ways I like to help my clients ease into that is actually some of those meal prep kits. Some of those things where you get the ingredients sent to your house and it's less than $10 a meal, which would be 2 servings. And it helps kind of prepare them for, okay, I'm going to come home and it's going to take me 30 minutes to make dinner. And we're going to save money by doing that instead of going out every single night.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And I hear what you're saying, Gregory, because he says you can't even eat less and save money. Dieting costs way more. But I think it is also what you said. It's in proportion, the portion control also. When you cannot eat, piles and piles and piles. I mean, this is also, and I think we're kind of going from financial health to even just physical health. But I know in your line of business, a lot of that crosses over. You become a counselor, and you tend to tell people what to eat, what to buy, what not to buy. And I'm gonna tell you, as somebody, I'm, not necessarily dieting. I'm just trying to eat better. I'm trying to exercise more. It is about your portion, and portion control is big. You have to mind how much you eat. And healthy food is definitely more money sometimes. But again, I think it goes back to portion control. I don't know if you got through all of them. I want to do just a recap of the people, the support system that you mentioned. The encourager or the motivator, the comforter or the supporter, and then, of course, an accountability partner.
Yeah, that's it. That's definitely the tight little circle we want, because that person who's that comforter supporter might be sitting there saying it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, but they're not going to tell you, they're not going to give you kind of that hard line in the sand and say, it's not going to be okay if you keep doing this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
to go back to the healthy food conversation about portion control, my husband and I were actually living apart for a while because he's in the military. And when we moved back in together, he's actually lost 25 pounds since March, simply
Whoa.
because I have been cooking for him versus him going out to eat.
Oh, great. Well, girl, 25 pounds since Mars. That's awesome. Will you
Mm-hmm.
you want to be my airmail my meals?
So I actually mentioned that to a few clients and they're like, what are you feeding him? And finally, I actually ended up putting a few recipes on my website.
Really? Well,
Yep.
if you guys haven't already, make sure to go to her website, Grace Financial Coaching. She's on Instagram as well as Facebook. Again,
Mm-hmm.
Suzanne Johnson. As always, do me a favor. I'm asking you guys nicely. Please share this. She's going to be back again on, is it going to be later this month? We're going to have you back. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
later this month for the third part of this series. And she's really good. She and I are actually doing some one-on-ones. If you like a one-on-one, make sure to contact her again, Grace Financial Coaching. Her name is Suzanne Johnson. So I want going to take a couple more comments. We have Gregory. Again, I'm just loving the fact that these guys are getting involved. Ladies, show up, come through, boo. He says, think about this. We buy 10 times more cheaply made products when we could buy a better quality for a little more, but we're told quantity over quality. And I'm gonna tell you, my mom, she don't like that I thrift. She's like, Danica, I taught you quality over quantity. I'm like, yes, mom, but I'm getting quality jeans at an affordable price. Okay, like, get off my back, mom. But want to address what he just mentioned?
Yeah, I know. I think you're 100% right, Danica. I think we have this and the instant gratification has taken a whole new level, right? I mean, I have had to have clients delete their Amazon app from their phone, delete the payment information and delete the app from their phone because the instant gratification, the quantity or the quickness with which we're going to get that product is superseding the quality for sure. So yeah, in Gregory's situation, we have a ton of really good consignment and secondhand stores where I am right now, right outside of Virginia Beach. And man, I can't believe some of the stuff that they have for sale. This furniture is solid wood furniture. I'm like, damn, I do not need to be upgrading anything, but if I was, this is where I'd be going. So does it take a little more time? Yeah. All of this is going to take a little more time. Anything you want in life that is better than what you have now is going to take more diligence and more time. So you've just got to prioritize. If your money is not your priority right now, coaching isn't going to work, isn't going to do anything for you, really. I mean, you could call Danica personally or you can call me personally, but if you're not ready to do that and put that time and effort into it, it's not going to work for you right now. But no, totally agree, Gregory. There's definitely some times where we as Americans say we need it now and we need it fast, and we're willing to sacrifice the quality for sure.
Scholar says you got to be specific about portions. Are we talking a Louisiana grandma portion or what the Surgeon General says? Now you know better. Um, that's that's my better half right there talking. That's why he's jumping in this conversation. You know what it means. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not a my grandmother was in my household, and whenever she fed us, it was like, who are you feeding? This I'm a one person, not an army. They were very heavy handed. But of course, it's all important. I think also too, we don't take the time to savor our food. Again, I know we're kind of going over some places. We don't savor our food. We're just inhalers. No, you gotta savor the food. You can't eat it that quick. And you don't eat when you're hungry. I think that's the thing. We wait till we get to the point where we're hungry, and of course you're gonna inhale it and you're not gonna savor that. As Sharon B said, finish that last bite so you don't throw it away. Yeah.
Oh, so true. I mean, that is just like the grandma thing. So the equivalent I grew up in New York. So the equivalent of the Louisiana grandma serving size would be an Italian grandma serving size where I grew up.
Yeah.
There are hundreds of memes out there that's like Italian grandmas be like, do you want a little snack? And it's this picture of this banquet table that's full from one end to the other. And it's so true. But yeah, we do. That's such, clear your plate. Make sure there's nothing left on your plate, right? If you are done eating, either throw it out or put it in some Tupperware.
Yep.
Do not force yourself 100%. That's definitely great advice.
Now, of course, Elizabeth, you actually brought up something that I want to talk about on the third series. So I know that you have all these questions. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you guys are getting involved. She says, how do you calculate how much money you need to retire? Can we save that for the third series?
Absolutely. But Elizabeth, nice segue, girl. Thank you very much.
I'm like, this is like, it just happened like this. I mean, want versus need happened at the end of the show, right? So
Right.
I had been thinking, I was like, man, I think we need to talk more about retirement. And she brought it up perfectly. So you know what that means, Elizabeth? You got to come back, boo. You just got to come back for the third series. And right now, let me see y'all fire, fire, fire. It is time for rapid fire questions. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love this. Actually, I told you I'm gonna make my questions a little bit harder for you. I think I kind of let you slide the first time around. So my questions have gotten a little bit harder. Oh, come on. Oh, look, I gotta show this. See, for the record, y'all heard her say better half just for the record. Okay, let's get off of that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to see your fire, fire, fire. It's time for rapid fire questions. Are you ready, ma'am?
I'm scared now, but I'm ready.
All right. Okay, your question is, if you have or had a boat, what would you name it?
Okay, so we have already talked about this. There's a joke somewhere that says if you don't have kids and you're not saving for college, then if you get a boat, you can call it the scholarship.
Oh, yes, indeed. And
So that would be the name of my boat, the scholarship.
look at that scholar, and he wants a boat. He wants a boat. Isn't that something? Okay, the scholarship. I love it. Okay, number two. If you moved to Sesame Street, which character would be your neighbor and why?
So, quick funny story. My uncle worked for the company that produced Sesame Street in the 80s and 90s. I actually got to go to Sesame Street as a little kid.
What?
Yeah, it
Oh
was
my God,
crazy.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Who did you meet? Look at me. Who did you meet?
I think I would be, and I don't really know why, but I feel like I would be Grover.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Elmo's
Oh
a
no.
little
I
too.
thought you meant I was thinking about Oscar, but Grover, what tell me
Oh
about
no,
Oh.
he was the blue one with the pink nose.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, he was friendly, huh? He was friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was thinking about that and I was like, I don't think I would I definitely don't want Oscar. I don't want what's the little red one? Elmo. He was aggravating. I'm
Elmo.
sorry. Everybody's like, I love Elmo. Elmo was aggravating. Okay. Then you have Bert and Ernie. They were aggravating. It was like, oh my God, Ernie really got. I wanted to choke Ernie. Okay, maybe I have some childhood issues, but anyway, maybe I thought maybe Snuffleupagus. Oh, look, somebody said that Snuffleupagus. Yes, I think because but he was slow, but he was nice. And Big Bird was
Mm-hmm.
aggravating too. So yeah. Oh, but Cookie Monster would eat your cookies. Like he would never bring anything over. He would just eat up all your food. I'm
Mm-hmm.
how
Yeah.
yeah,
Cookie
I have some
Monster was a scrub for sure.
huh?
Cookie Monster was a scrub for sure.
That's how we are like turning our childhood memories into like the worst, repressed memories going. Okay. All right,
Right.
number three. What game show would you be a hard to beat contestant?
So I just kind of discovered this about myself. Apparently, I'm really good at Family Feud.
Yes.
I don't know
Yes.
why. I did not watch it growing up, but my friends were over. We had a couple people visit from just north of us, and it was, I don't know, we turned the TV on and we have like a smart TV, so it's got like some free channels. And it was on Family Feud. We ended up watching it. It was raining that day. We ended up watching it for like 2 hours, and they were all looking at me by the end of the game, and they're like, have you ever, did you watch this episode before? How'd you know all these answers? I'm like, I don't know. Apparently I'd be really good on this show.
Okay, I thought so too. I think I was like, what would I be good? And I was like, Family Feud. Yes. However, I think if I don't know if I would be that family member you say would do the what is it the challenge at the end. I think I
Oh
would
yeah.
probably get too nervous. I don't know, but I love that show. So number 4, let's see what folks are saying. Let me see what anybody answer the question. Okay, we'll get back to it. So number 4, would you rather a pause or rewind button? A pause or rewind button?
Pause. Once it's happened. Move on. Let's get going. Learn from your mistakes. And then when you're in a good moment, if I had the pause button, I'd be able to pause where I was right then and there.
Yep. And I'm like, I'm young enough to pause. I'm like, I'm not like an old woman. I can, make some changes and then like, boom, here we go. I'm an instant millionaire. All right. Last question for you. And I'm so excited. You got to tell the truth.
Oh no.
What is the craziest dare you ever took?
Oh.
I'll give you a moment to think.
Oh my goodness.
And after you told me the story about how you met your husband, like I know you're ballsy, so I know you've done some stuff.
I think growing up, I did not have that same kind of set on me. I distinctly remember like going to the sleepovers with all the girls and always picking truth because I was way too scared to do any dares. Yeah. I really don't remember ever doing one.
Okay, now I have one in the back of my mind, and if Tranisha is still here, it's the one that I gave her because she was a guest on Carpool Conversation. So you're gonna have to answer this question, and we have men in this room. So are you ready? Because you didn't answer this. Okay, if you were the opposite sex for a day, what's the first thing you would do?
Go pee outside on a tree.
Yes. Why is it
100%? That's so not fair. That feature is so not fair.
No hovering, no none of that. It's like boom. That's what you would have.
Yep.
All right. I look helicopter. I don't know. I probably would do that too. Well, I'm glad you didn't give me the answer that Tranisha gave me. She said sword fight. Hell to the no. Ain't nobody doing that. Why? Why would we do? And Gregory said he would do a diva cup. What? I'm a woman, and
okay. I don't even want to do that.
So I don't know, sir. You may not. You be like, well, I'm sorry. That's all the time we have. Mike, you're just getting in, and we're going to talk about retirement funds when we get back for our 3rd series. She's actually going to be at the end of the month. So I want you guys to come back. And as always, please do me a favor. Share this video. I've had such a wonderful time with Suzanne. Every time she comes, it's not, well, her second time, we've had fun. We know that we love thrifting. So today is National Thrift Shop Day. So if you are a thrifter, all you got to do is just go by, say hello to the folks. Maybe get yourself a brand new pair of shoes that have never been worn, whatever. I just want to say thank you again. And we'll see you again at the end of the month. Any last words?
No, that's it. I am so excited. And we are definitely going to dive right into retirement and answer any questions. I guess if anybody has any questions for our next one, comment on this thread and we will definitely make sure to address them.
Or hit me up in my inbox. Either way, again, this is Suzanne Johnson with Grace Financial Coaching. Make sure to hit her up and get her services. She's really good. She says that you only pay for the time that you need. So we will see you guys next time. Love you guys. Y'all take care.